On today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be heading to just north of Detroit to an undisclosed location to check out the car collection of Larry Weymouth. He has some amazing muscle cars and a couple of new sports cars. We're going to see what he's got going on up there, and I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. We're going to head in the White Wall Special and head on up there. I'm White Wall Steve. This is my Good Enough Garage. Woo! Up right now. Probably just park wherever, I guess. So we're gonna go in here, see what kind of cars he's got in there. It's some pretty cool stuff. All right, going in here, and there's Larry.
Hey Steve, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
Good, yeah. So this is your shop. So
this is my shop.
Kind of give us the nickel tour here.
This is the area you just walked into and see is sort of the shop area where I'm going to work on things and fix them. So these are some project cars. An AMC Rebel machine, 4-speed one, which is red, white, and blue. 69 Scrambler Rambler. B scheme. There's two paint schemes, A and B, and this one's a B.
Very cool. So here's the big shop with all the cars.
This is the view of the fun area of it.
So every car does drive.
Yep, every car drives. Well, I shouldn't say that. The blue one doesn't have an engine. You can sort of see on the lift out there, but every car is running functional. Maybe not every year, but I try to get to them if I can. Some have been a couple years they haven't been driven, but the basis of it for me is just the best motor in the year. It had really nothing more than that. That's what it's really about at the end of the day, and using them. My wife can drive a stick, so you'll see when we see these cars, a lot of them are sticks. It makes it fun because she enjoys them too.
Yeah. We don't have time to talk about every single car, but we'll kind of pick out some. It says 69 Trans Am convertible.
It is.
So let's head over and check out that.
69 convertible Trans Am. You looked at it, you would never know. You would believe it's one of the 8 original ones because every part on it happens to be a real Trans Am part. However, it's not one of the original 8, but it is an original 69 Ram Air 3 404-speed coded for a Trans Am. We modified it a little bit. I like power. It makes a bit more power than stock. Stock would have been 335 horsepower. It makes almost 560. You look at the interior, it looks absolutely stock. There's Bluetooth hidden. And underneath the stock 4-speed shifter is an actual 5-speed. Good friend restored the last of the real ones, number 8 of the convertible 69 Trans Ams. He had the blue top material made, so he was kind and generous, Rick Mahoney, and gave me a top.
Did all the original ones come with the blue top?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was a few, but white was the most popular color.
Okay. Can we fire it up?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. All right. Man, that thing sounds awesome.
It sounds pretty wicked.
It's got a nice cam in it for sure. How much I could sit and stare at this thing all day. Is that a, what is that, 71 LS6 Vet over there?
It is a 71 LS6.
All right.
Original unrestored car.
Oh, let's go over and take a look at that.
71 LS6 Corvette. Most people don't know that they made an LS6 in 71. Chevrolet, everybody associates it with the 70 Chevelle, but Chevrolet put the LS6 only in the Corvette in 1971. It's a little different than the 70 motor. It has aluminum heads, same cam, same intake, same carb as the 70 Chevelle, less compression because that was a GM mandate, 71 9-to-1 instead of 11-to-1. They made 188 of them. That's the one that happens to be an automatic. You can get it automatic or 4-speed. This car was sold new in Michigan, never driven. Might have just rolled over 14,000 miles, high 13,000 mile car. Paint is original, Bridgehampton blue. Interior is original. The original tires I have in another spot in the facility. These are the tires I used to drag race it on. When you see 454 on a 70s Corvette, it's an LS5. It's not very fast,
right.
Not that exciting. But this car with all original suspension and these tires runs 1177 at 118.
Wow.
So it gets with the program.
So how many of these were made blue on blue like this?
That I don't know.
Okay.
But Bridgehampton blue was not the most popular color in
Right.
71, especially with the blue interior.
Right.
I think it's a good color combi. I like
Oh, I love it.
a lot.
Yeah.
But, I looked for one because I actually drag raced the first time I did the pure stock drags. I did it in a convertible 71 LS5 loaded Corvette, and it was just dead consistent. I found this after a 3-week search. It was out in Utah and bought it and had it brought back.
Well, you know me, I'm partial to Corvettes, so
Yes.
this thing is kind of the holy grail when it comes to the late chrome bumper C3s. So
Right, it's sort of the unknown performance car, the C3.
Right.
I mean, everybody in 69, 68, you know, the L88, the L72 tri-carb. If you're really lucky, you had the L89 aluminum heads on them.
right,
So a lot of people don't even know these cars exist.
yeah,
And that was the fun. That's why I sort of went after it. They were not popular at that time.
right,
This was over 20 years ago. Now people sort of realize what they are, and they become a lot more collectible. They always were, but now the pricing has changed dramatically from where I bought it.
right. Oh yeah, for sure. So I know right behind me there is a 62
A 62
Biscayne 409. Let's take a look at that thing next. I mean, I know I could sit here and look at every single one, but let's do that one next, and maybe a couple more.
Sounds good.
All right.
This thing, what's neat about this is 62 409 Biscayne, so that was your base model. And this is a businessman's coupe. So if you look in the interior, you see there's no armrest or sun visor for the passenger. This was the most plain Jane car you could get. Probably why it doesn't have a radio, manual steering, manual brakes. Probably somebody just ordered this car just to drag race it, right?
Yeah.
409, that was the biggest thing, a 4-speed. Restored it a long time ago now. Raced it once for a magazine shootout, and then I went to the Gilmore Museum for a lot of years.
Okay.
And we got it back last fall, and so we had it out a number of times this summer on drives and stuff, and it's great. It runs great. It drives down the road true. It ran at 1340, I believe.
Oh, it's awesome with the red wheels on the back and then the black wheels in the front. I mean, it's true to the 60s right there. I mean, this thing is...
You know, sort of period, and as we tried to do with it, a good friend restored a good portion of the early Catalina Super Duty cars.
Okay.
He got M&H, they're doing it now, but back when they weren't doing it, M&H to repop out the original tooling, where the letters are different on how M&H was
Right.
versus the new ones. So, but he had to buy five sets.
Oh, wow.
And we were doing this car at the same time, and he said, "Hey, would you buy a set?" I said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And so I got some Chevrolet 8-inch wagon wheels and got the bigger tire on it. So it looks like a racer would have had it set up back in the day.
Right behind me again is a 70 Javelin.
Yeah, 70 Trans Am Javelin. They've got a unique history. 69, Mark Donahue and Roger Penske were killing everybody in Trans Am racing.
Okay.
And somehow AMC with no money. I don't know how that really happened. Talked them into coming to AMC from Chevrolet, which that was a big deal back
Right.
in the day.
Let's walk back here and check this thing out.
make 100. So AMC made 100 Trans Am Javelins. They're all the same. They're all red, white, and blue. They're 4-speed, 390 ram air. They have a unique front spoiler and a unique rear spoiler, which is adjustable. Chevrolet threw a fit, because obviously they left Chevrolet.
Right.
And they got SCCA to change the rule to 2,500. So that's why if you see 1970 Mark Donahue Javelins, that became their 2,500 fulfillment. But a Mark Donahue Javelin has a ducktail spoiler. It could have been had with any engine they offered. So it could have had a 6-cylinder, could have had a 360 or a 390. So there's a number of engines you'll see Donahues, and they're probably all correct. You know, some people, they didn't make, well, they did make some, because it was a package. It wasn't, cars were very specifically designed for the racing series. This is the second earliest one known to exist. My friend actually owns the earliest one known to exist. It's 3 VIN numbers before mine.
Oh.
And it was actually one of the cars that they did give Roger Penske. The body has been fully welded and acid milled, taken apart and never raced. So it's really an unused original car.
That's pretty cool. But this one's nice too, man.
This one's original. You can see some stuff's getting a little ratty, but it's original other than it's been repainted once because they hit a deer around 1980 from what I've been told, and hit the passenger front quarter. So they put a quarter panel on it and repainted it. But other than that, interior's original, drivetrain's original. Car runs really well. It's not real fast. Because it's got 85,000 miles on it, but it runs great. If I want to go out in a fast car, there's plenty of options.
Right.
Go out in a cool car that drives great.
Yeah.
No argument. It's
that,
a cool car that drives great. And,
you gotta love Javelins. So,
right. And if you rebuilt it, it would be as fast as just about anything in here.
Yeah, for sure.
They're underrated by a large margin.
All right, I think we got time to do one more. I think it's going to be that GT right there.
2019 Carbon Series GT. Carbon Series was unique in 19. It was the first year they offered a Carbon Series. It's the lightest other than the competition cars that they've built. They built 17, a competition car, didn't have air conditioning and a few things. But then people didn't like it because they were so hot that they didn't want to drive them. And there's a Mark II version of these cars, which most people have never seen. I've seen a few. Bodywork's a little bit different. It's got some extra vents. Fixed larger rear spoiler and a big scoop that comes up over the roof to help cool the transmission. It's a race car only. It's not street legal work. This was the first sort of inclusive, lightweight car, sort of bridged both worlds. It doesn't have any mat pockets or anything in it, no cup holder like the standard row-going one does. All the carbon fibers exposed. The whole car is carbon fiber, but the splitters, the wheels, all that carbon fiber is exposed. It came standard with the titanium exhaust and the carbon fiber wheels, which in 19 were optional on other cars, except for a Heritage where you couldn't get carbon fiber wheels in 19 on a Heritage. It's about 22 kilos lighter than a standard GT, about 45 pounds roughly. They're a street legal race car, I guess is the best way to describe them. But it's also functional. You could drive around the country. It has a trunk that'll fit a helmet in front of the wing and back. So
now for you, one other person and a pack of gum, right?
Right. Yeah, right. I guess it could be a traveling car. If you didn't have a passenger, you could put a duffel bag on the passenger seat.
But I bet it gets a lot of looks on the road.
It gets a ton of looks. They're unique. They didn't make many. At the end of the day, they made 1,250. They made 52 carbons in 19, 20, and 21, and 22. I believe they still offered it as an option.
So they're not making any more then?
No more.
Oh,
so
wow.
These are all done. This one is number 50 of 52 carbons. We believe it's a 101 color. Number 50 only has a significance to me because that car is number 50. The Coco Camaro and the Super Stock AMX in the back is number 50.
Yeah, I know that Copo Camaro is the only green one in existence.
Yeah, that's a 101 too.
Yeah.
So, it's a really cool car. I was lucky to get it. You had to put in an application. I did. I didn't get a call the day that they were announcing to everybody that got awarded one. And my friend called me and said his boss said I was going to get one, and his boss is a dealer. I didn't know at the time he was also on the advisory committee. He didn't mention me, but he had a feeling that I would fit what they wanted, and he knew something I didn't. They were going to build an extra 250, basically one more year of production. You know, sometimes it's better to have luck than to be good.
Right.
So it's a privilege.
It's very cool.
And it's an honor to have it.
So I know you mentioned something about it, but can we go for a ride in this thing?
We can go for a ride.
Oh, hey, now we're talking. Oh, God. Okay.
It's tight.
Oh. Oh, man. That is very tight.
And you and I will be touching shoulders.
In the GT. Get in this thing.
Yeah, but first.
Oh, this thing is very tight. You own this thing for what, 2 years now?
3
years. Okay.
2 years now. Yeah.
2 seasons, 3 years.
Yeah. So you couldn't sell them for the first 2 years. And part of the contract was you agreed that if you got one, you wouldn't sell it for 2 years.
Oh, no kidding. So it's what, a 3.6?
3.5 liter.
3.5. Okay. Twin turbo.
Twin turbo, and the intercooler intake piping is in that flying buttress.
Oh, really?
Every square inch of this car has something in it. There's nothing.
Everything has a
chance.
Everything has a purpose, huh?
Yeah. And if you put it in manual mode, you have to shift. It will not shift automatically.
Oh, really?
So you have to use a paddle shifter.
Oh, wow.
You can use paddle shifters anytime you want, but in manual mode, you have to shift. It won't shift.
Oh, no kidding. What's this got, a 7-speed in it?
7-speed.
You know, surprisingly, it doesn't ride that
And
bad.
this is in sport. If I turn it into normal, it'll ride a little bit, and then you can actually do comfort and soften it up a little bit, so it'll ride a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's not as
Not as rigid.
Yeah, as rigid as it is in sport.
That's kind of
So
cool.
You turn it back into sport.
So is this like a magnetic style suspension?
It's hydraulic
Oh, really?
with torsion bars.
No kidding.
So it's that's how that front lift comes
Yeah.
up instantaneous. And even if we put it in track mode, you got to be stopped.
Yeah.
You can't drive it on the street track mode. It drops 2 inches.
Oh, wow.
2 inches instantly.
Oh, wow.
As soon as I turn this knob and hit OK, the car drops.
No kidding.
Giant Chevrolet pickup truck looks like he could run over me. That's the problem. Everything in the world is bigger than this thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you're on the ground for sure.
There's just a real, not even tipping into it. I mean, it's just
Not bad.
and you can go the speed limit when you're not even thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
We're getting close waters, getting decent temperature. I always drive it hard usually every time I drive it, but I gotta try to let everything get sort of normalized.
Yeah.
Oil temp's pretty good. So water's pretty good. Transit's still pretty cool. I'm sort of surprised.
Well, it's kind of cool out. different airways that everything goes into, I'm sure.
As I put screens on it, they're really, now the spoiler graphics are under 45.
Yeah.
And I put the stone guard screens to keep the rocks from blasting the doors.
Yeah. Might be the most expensive car I've ridden in.
They weren't cheap. That was the downside. And what they said when you applied versus what they were when they delivered was huge difference.
Oh, was it?
Huge. It was 50% more than they said.
Oh, really?
All said and done.
Wow. That's okay. I think I lost my phone back there. That was awesome. That was nice. So we're back at the garage, and this thing is just wicked. I mean, unlike anything I've ridden in before. We're gonna pull this thing back in, and then yeah, that'll probably do it for the episode. So see you in a second. And we're back home in the garage. Man, that was an awesome trip. Got to see some amazing classic cars. Got to go for a ride in that GT. It was absolutely insane. I mean, that thing is just all throttle and handles crazy. Big thanks to Larry Weymouth for inviting us up to his shop and then showing us his whole car collection. I wish we could have got to see every single one. He definitely told us that we're welcome back anytime to see any of those cars and get the story on the whole lot if we want. Which car was your favorite? Was it one of the ones we featured, or was it one of the ones that you saw in the background? Let me know down in the comments. Also, do you have a shop that you'd like us to feature and feature some of your cars here on the channel? Leave me a comment down below too, and maybe we'll feature your stuff here on the channel. But that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. Big thanks to Larry again for letting us do that. Thank you. That was absolutely awesome. So, until next time, I'm Whitewall Steve, and this has been My Good Enough Garage. See ya.